I'm originally from Lancaster, Ohio. I graduated from Purdue University in May of 2011. I did a senior design project with Alcoa out of Whitehall, Michigan. I got my bachelor's degree in material science and engineering, and I minored in environmental and ecological engineering. Then I joined Alcoa the summer after I graduated, and I've actually held 2 positions since I joined. And I'll tell you a little bit about those a little later. So a little bit about Alcoa at a glance. We're actually celebrating our 125th anniversary this year. We're a leader in innovation. We have amazing products in all kinds of markets of cars and jets and smartphones and containers, aluminum bottles, defense. So a wide variety of products. And also we are in over 200 locations in 30 countries. We have 61,000 employees and over 26,000 of those are based in the U.S. So a little bit about our industry. We are in the aluminum business, and we believe that this is the miracle metal. A couple examples are that a pound of aluminum on a vehicle eliminates about 20 pounds of greenhouse gases over its lifetime. It's considered a cool metal. A lot of electronic gadgets like to put it on. For example, Apple likes to use it on their phones because it's lightweight and it looks pretty cool. It's also used in space travel, a lot in the aerospace industry, and also a cool story about in the beverage can industry is we can melt down the aluminum, roll it down, sell it to our customers. They can fill it, make it into a bottle, fill it, and put it on a shelf. You can use it, turn it around, put it back in the recycling loop, and we can make it again in as short as 60 days. So that's a pretty cool thing to say. In 60 days, you could be holding essentially the same can in your hand. We also are in the building industry, not only for aesthetics but energy efficiency, and 75% of the aluminum produced worldwide is still in use today. So a little bit about our specific story of over 125 years is you can see that we started with the very beginning and getting the patent on mass production of aluminum, then going through aerospace and buildings and marine to today. You can see that we're still very relevant in oil and gas and defense, like I talked about, consumer electronics, aluminum bottles. We also have what's called EcoClean, and it's the first coil-coated architectural panel that actually cleans itself. It has the air cleansing power of 80 trees per 10,000 square feet used. So that's just some really cool stuff that 125 years ago we were starting with that we are and still completely relevant. So a little bit about our business. We are fully encompassing of the aluminum industry from upstream, which what that means is it's bauxite mining. We do refining, smelting, and recycling. And I've had an opportunity to work in that business with molten metal and moving molten metal and the logistics that it goes into for transportation and then putting that into a final product. So then we have a lot of businesses in the midstream, which is flat rolled aluminum. So the coil that you can see pictured there. It can also be flat sheet. It can be plate, which a lot of that, some goes into cans, some goes into auto, airplane, fuselage sheet. And I actually currently work in that business with hard alloy casting, which would be mainly aerospace and defense products. And then a final downstream product, which is fasteners, wheels, building, forging, and extrusions. And I've actually had the opportunity to also work in those industries. Forgings, so not only aerospace wheels, but also cars. A lot of semi-truck drivers like to use Alcoa forged wheels to kind of trick out their truck because it looks pretty nice and shiny going down the road, and it also helps with their fuel efficiency. So we pretty much cover the entire aluminum industry. So getting into a little more specifics about a couple of our products, we like to say Alcoa Blue flies nose to tail. You can see here that the current is in the dark blue and the future is in the light blue, so we're always going after new businesses. And we were at the beginning of the aerospace industry, the dawn of it, but we're still leading the way in new and lighter aluminum alloys. So every Western commercial aircraft flying today actually uses Alcoa fasteners, and it also uses Alcoa castings in their engines. We also like to say we run from bumper to bumper. We're really excited to be in the automotive industry, and that's really picking up for us. Again, current is in dark blue and future is in light blue. And every day the automotive industry is trying to increase their use of aluminum because of the huge benefit in fuel efficiencies. So that's really exciting for us. So a little bit about my Alcoa story. What I'm interested in, of course, I'm interested in solidification metallurgy. I've done some new product development work, been able to have some opportunities at our technical center. I also do some metal quality testing, sustainability, and environmental impact awareness. And I've also gotten a really good view of our global viewpoint and interactions. So I originally heard about Alcoa through my senior design, like I talked about, working in Michigan, and then also Purdue has a lot of career fairs, which I'm sure a lot of you attend also. And so that's how I originally heard about Alcoa. Found out that they're pretty much the grandfather of our industry and so many opportunities within our industry. So the positions that I've held within Alcoa, I first started out, like I said, in June of 2011, and I first lived near Knoxville, Tennessee. And I actually worked for our Center of Excellence for our global cast houses. So basically what I did, I got a lot of mentoring and training from our experts in our cast house division, which a cast house is basically taking molten aluminum and making it into ingots or large castings. And so I worked in that division for about 2 years, and I got to work with about 10 different locations across the U.S. I got to go to them and work on projects there and support their cast house. And then I also got to work globally through a lot of the connections in China, Australia, Russia, Spain, Italy, England, a lot of the cast houses, sharing knowledge, sharing best practices, and made some really good connections there. And then in my current role, I'm a metallurgical engineer here at Davenport, Iowa. I am a cast house metallurgist, and I specialize in, like I said earlier, hard alloys, which is aerospace and defense mainly. And so some reasons why I'm still at Alcoa and I still really love it is that it's a global company with a lot of opportunities. I've only worked for Alcoa for just over 2 years, and I've already held 2 positions and in 2 different locations. I have worked with people not only locally but around the globe. I've been able to meet our CEO and several of our customers like Boeing and Ford. I've been able to have interactions with them, hearing their concerns, how we can work with them to get the best products out on the market. So when I came to Alcoa, I learned that we really walk the walk and talk the talk, not only at work but in our personal lives and around our communities. We really live our vision and our values of integrity and respect, innovation. We really are environmental stewards, and we really do strive for excellence and really producing the best products available. So one of our core values here at Alcoa is connecting with the communities that we live in, and part of our culture is giving back in ways that are meaningful, not only for the company and our community, but for each individual employee. We really take pride in working, living, and taking care of the communities that we're in. The Alcoa Foundation is one of the largest corporate foundations, and it invests a lot of money around the globe, but also locally within our own communities. One way that we do that is we have what's called a month of service. It comes around every year in October, and we all pick whatever service organization that we would like to participate in, and we can actually take time during work, leave, and I've actually, last October, I went and did Habitat for Humanity for half of a day. I think it was on a Wednesday, so that was great. I've also been able to volunteer for our local animal shelter. I've done Run for Viva, so lots of opportunities, and what means the most to me, I had a lot of options. And 60% of our employees have actually taken part in a month of service event, one or even more. So it's been 450,000 people served. So it's great to know that I work for a company that not only cares about the products and the quality of things that we make, but in my life and in my coworkers' lives and in the lives of the community that we live in. So you can actually start being involved with Alcoa today. We partner in several programs and societies on campus across the U.S. You can see some listed here, and I was involved in SWE and EWB and a lot of other organizations. So you can actually come and start connecting with Alcoa, start learning a little bit more about us. We sponsor a lot of events with these organizations, and we also it really shows our commitment to diversity. We really want to think out of the box, have a lot of different viewpoints. So that's really great also about Alcoa. So here's a map about our global location, our U.S. locations. Like I said, we have over 200 global locations, but we have over 30 here in the U.S. And I've actually lived in 2 of these locations, one of the ones in Tennessee and the one there in Iowa. And I've been to several of the other locations, and they're each unique, they each have benefits, and they're a really great place to work in, and plus you're a part of the Alcoa network. So that's really great, depending on where you live, where you go to school, or where you'd like to live. So that's another good thing about working for a large and global company. So here's some ways that you can currently connect with us. You can apply today at alcoa.com and on campus. You can also, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we're on LinkedIn. So it's really good to start connecting with us early. If you're in one of the societies or programs that I talked about earlier, that's a good way to check us out. Definitely check us out if we come to your campus. We go to a lot of career fairs, so that's a really good place to go take a look at our website and explore some other things. Go back to the map and kind of find out where you'd like to find us and connect with us, and that would be great. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions. So if you go ahead and send those, I'll take a look at them. Okay, so we have a question here, and the question is if they're wondering if they have a MBA, and they're wondering if Alcoa is recruiting current MBA graduates for any available positions. Most of our opportunities are for undergrads, but we do have select roles for graduate students and students graduating with MBAs. It varies by location, so I would definitely check out our website. We have a careers tab there that you can put in the specifications, whether you have a bachelor's or you have graduate work there. But we definitely have opportunities. There's a question here, is there any positions for operation and supply chain? And again, to moving it within our facility, to moving it to our customers. So there's definitely opportunities there. And I'd again check the website, and you can actually type in a keyword for operations or supply chain or any of those other, whatever your major is. I would definitely try searching that way. And then, let's see, are there any current internships for undergraduate mechanical engineering students? And I would say yes, definitely. We actually just finished this rotation of summer interns. I was a mentor for a metallurgical intern, and we had several here at Davenport, definitely. And I know that all of the locations that I talked to have had interns, mechanical engineering, metallurgical engineering, chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical, several different industrial. Really, any of the engineerings that I am familiar with, we had opportunities and possibilities for internships. And there's also about 200 to 300 on average per summer interns. And just as a reminder, the question box is in the control panel, so if you're looking for it. Another question, does Alcoa hire undergraduate international students? Are there summer internship opportunities or co-ops? And the answer to that one is we have some opportunities. a lot of the career fairs you'll be asked if you need sponsorship, and that'll depend on the area. And then also depending on if you come from a country where we have an Alcoa location, you could also link up with one of our global locations for an intern possibility. The next question is, do environmental engineering majors have any opportunities? And I would say yes, definitely. Like I said, I have an environmental and ecological engineering minor, and I use that in my daily work. But then also we have we're definitely environmental stewards. So we have each department has an environmental contact person, whether it's a coordinator or an engineer or a systems organizer. So we definitely have a lot of opportunities. And then we also, some of the locations have a central environmental engineering, and they really make sure that we're following all the policies when the EPA comes for audits. They're working with them, and so we definitely have opportunities there. And it's also one of our core values. Let's see if we have any other questions. There's a question here about, are there summer internships for second-year juniors? Looks like they're in mechanical engineering, strong interest in materials, and an interface. And I would definitely say yes, and I'll talk about a personal experience on this one. Our mechanical engineer here at our cast house, he also did a lot of work in material engineering, and it definitely is a great value to have that interconnection, because he really understands the equipment that he's designing, and I work very closely with him when I need a new part or we're putting in a new casting facility. He really understands the quality parts and really the process part of it. So I would definitely say not only for an internship would that be great, but also for a permanent position. We definitely value your ability to cross the divide of the different engineering divisions. Let's see, some of the other questions. Do we hire masters in material science for entry levels? And we do hire material science majors in a variety of areas, also including our innovation center. So we do have a technical center located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it hires some undergrad and then also masters and PhD. And so that's one good place for innovation. I also know that there are plant positions. I personally know of someone that I worked with in Tennessee who had a master's in materials, and he actually became a cast house met like I did, and then he actually went into operations. So there's a lot of different avenues for you to use your degrees, whether you want to stay technically focused or you want to get into production or you want to go into management. There's a lot of different paths and a lot of opportunities. The next question is, are your internships for undergrads, or do you have some management training opportunities or internships for graduate students? And that I would say we definitely have management training, and a lot of it will come if you become a permanent hire. We go and we have a lot of training and getting into leadership roles, and we also, for our interns, try to expose them to projects that are leadership and management based, whether it's going out to the floor and trying to manage a project to get it going, or manage a project. We actually this summer had a lot of projects that were managed across departments, so that took a lot of management and leadership work there. And let's see. Do we have any temporary or permanent opportunities for mechanical engineers who are international students? That's similar to the question I had asked about internships. It's similar for international students. In some cases, we do offer sponsorship. It's really dependent on the applicant. But then we also have opportunities, like we said, in over 200 global locations. So if you, in your home country, there's an Alcoa facility, I would also encourage you to check out their website and their careers. but then for permanent hires, it's really dependent on the person. But I do know of cases where we have offered sponsorship. Let's see. The next question is, are there any winter or spring internships or only during the summer? And I'd say the bulk of our internships are summer-based, but we do have select winter and spring positions. And they're also really location-specific, and it could also be partnering with your school through co-op. I do know of a few locations that partner with some universities to do either like a few-year rotation of co-op or even just a summer or a spring co-op, just one session. So it's really location dependent. So on that one, I would really encourage you to reach out for either the location you're interested in or the nearest location to you. Check them out at either the Career Center or on the website. Then you can also contact that location specifically. Let's see. The question is, what's the difference between Alcoa and Boeing? As you said, Alcoa is a partner with Boeing. So yes, Alcoa we are producing some of the material that Boeing is using on their planes. We are producing some of the skin sheets, some of the ribs, some of the spars, if you're familiar with any of the airplane parts. And like I showed you on the picture of the airplane, the dark blue is what we're currently doing. And so what we do is we ship that material to either Boeing or even one of their suppliers like Spirit, and then they assemble all of the pieces together. So we ship them parts and their assembly, and then Boeing directly sells to like the airlines, Delta or American or United or any of those. But we make the parts that then Boeing uses in their planes. And we work very closely with our partners like Boeing, and also if you know of any of the can businesses like Ball that sells to Coca-Cola, we work extremely close with them, and we actually have some of the patents of those parts and those designs because we know what our material is capable of, and we work very closely with them to make the best product overall for their consumer like us. Which schools do we attend for career fairs? The list for that is extremely long. I of course went to Purdue, but then in Tennessee I know that we went to the UT campus there. We went to Georgia Tech. I'm going to attend some others in Illinois and Iowa, and we attend hundreds of career fairs throughout the U.S. So I definitely check either through your school career website or through our recruiting. And like I said, you can check us out on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, and we'll probably have updates there if we're coming to your school. Let's see. And this will be the last question I take. Is there any position for the field in computer networks, infrastructure, and full-time positions for master's students? And that I would definitely say at our location, we're always looking for either IT or PCS or programming, coding. And we have a lot of different venues to go down. If you're an electrical engineer, we have the more traditional outworking with the equipment, electrical engineering, but then we also have the programming and the coding, setting up the internal data collection parts of the machine. So I would say we definitely do. And again, master's students are always welcome to apply. So I'd like to thank you all today for joining, and you guys had great questions. I hope that this has really opened your eyes to Alcoa and kind of shown you a little bit about our business. And so I would really encourage you again to join us either through a society or program on your campus, join us through any of those social medias, and really come up and talk to any of us. I really take pride in working for Alcoa, and I really believe in our values and that we really do walk the walk. So come talk to any of us, and we'd be glad to share our stories. Thank you.